You owe you. You don't owe them your energy, your time, or your explanations. Stop waking up every day thinking you've got to prove something to people who wouldn't even come to your rescue if you were down bad. You owe you the grind, you owe you the glow up, you owe you the peace. See, most people walking around living somebody else's version of success. Trying to impress friends, family, social media, even strangers at the gas station. But here's the thing, most of them don't care about your success. They care about the drama, the gossip, the failure. That's what they're watching for. But when you start focusing on you, you silence all that noise. You flip the script. You've been wasting too much time trying to get applause from folks who wouldn't even clap for you when you were in the struggle. They don't care about your growth, they care about your mistakes. And you're letting their opinions guide your path. That's like handing the keys to your car to somebody who don't even know how to drive. You owe it to yourself to take the wheel, drive your own lane. Stop looking left and right. Life is not a race, it's a journey, and every step you take has to be intentional, focused, locked in. You keep waiting on somebody to tell you go, when God already gave you the green light. There are people right now praying for your downfall not because you did them wrong, but because your potential makes them uncomfortable. Your greatness is a threat to their mediocrity. But guess what? That ain't your problem. You don't need their permission to be powerful. You don't need their validation to be valuable. You need to look in the mirror and realize, I owe myself the life I dreamed of. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand it to you. You've got to go get it. See, focusing on yourself means making decisions that don't always make sense to other people. It means turning down parties so you can work on your business. It means saying no to distractions even when they come dressed as opportunities. It means spending less time explaining and more time executing. People are going to get uncomfortable when you level up. They'll say you changed. Of course you did. That's the point. You're not supposed to stay the same. You're supposed to evolve. And if they can't handle your growth, they were never meant to sit at your table. Most people are addicted to attention. They'll post every move, every plan, every dream just to get a few likes. But likes don't build legacy. Followers don't fund your future. You've got to focus on what really matters. Put your head down, work in silence, build in secret. And when you finally pop out, let your success speak so loud you don't even have to say a word. Stop letting your current situation define your self-worth. Maybe you're broke right now. Maybe you're heartbroken. Maybe you've failed more times than you can count. So what? That's part of the process. You're not the first one to struggle, and you won't be the last. But if you keep your eyes on the prize and not the pain, you'll make it. Because when you focus on yourself, you get better. And when you get better, you make better moves. You attract better people. You make better money. And most importantly, you feel better about the person staring back at you in the mirror. There's nothing more dangerous than a person who knows who they are, what they want, and isn't afraid to go get it alone. Be that person. Stop telling everybody your goals. They won't understand your vision if they were never meant to see it. Just work, grind, improve, learn, heal, grow. Do it quietly, and when they least expect it. Show them what happens when you stop focusing on them and start focusing on you. Because at the end of the day, it's your name on the line, your legacy, your dreams, so make it count. You owe that to yourself. People don't understand that sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to step away from the noise. The world is full of distractions, everybody talking, everybody posting, everybody showing off what they've got, what they're doing, what they want you to believe about them. And in the middle of all that, you're trying to figure out who you are. That's why you keep coming up short. That's why you feel stuck. Because you're spending all your time watching them instead of working on you. You weren't put on this earth to blend in. You weren't put here to follow the crowd. You weren't designed to fit into other people's expectations of who they think you should be. There's something inside you that's trying to grow, but it can't grow in the wrong environment. Flowers don't grow on concrete. And you won't grow trying to keep up with everybody else's race. You need space, you need time, and sometimes you need to be alone. See, isolation isn't punishment. Isolation is preparation. When life pulls you away from the crowd, when you start feeling like you don't fit in anywhere anymore, that's not rejection. That's redirection. That's the universe, that's God, whatever you believe in, saying, "Come here. I'm trying to build something in you, but I can't do it while you're distracted by everybody else. You're too busy watching who's getting married, who's making money, who's on vacation, who bought what car." And every time you compare, you delay your own blessing. People will think you're being distant. People will say you changed. Let them talk. While they're out there posting highlights, you're behind the scenes building the full movie. While they're spending their nights partying, you're spending your nights planning. While they're flexing, you're planting. And when the harvest comes, they're gonna wonder how you did it, and the answer is simple. You focused on you. This journey ain't meant to be crowded. Lions don't move in packs. Eagles don't fly in flocks. And champions aren't built in front of an audience. They're built in the dark when no one's watching, when no one's clapping. When it's just you, your struggle, and your will to get through it. Everybody wants the crown, but nobody wants the quiet it takes to earn it. You gotta be willing to be misunderstood, to be talked about, to be doubted. But that's okay, because while they're looking for attention, you're becoming unstoppable. When you stop seeking validation, you start finding power. When you cut off the noise, you start hearing your own voice. When you leave the crowd, you start building your crown. That's what isolation does. It teaches you to hear yourself. It teaches you to fight for yourself. It teaches you who you are without the applause, without the likes, without the approval. That's when you learn your real worth. And once you know who you are, nobody can shake you. Nobody can break you. You become dangerous because you don't need them to believe you already know. You gotta stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop explaining why you're taking a step back. Everybody can't go where you're going. Everybody's not supposed to understand your journey. This season you're in, it's not for pleasing people. It's for preparing you. So don't be afraid of the silence. Don't be afraid of the distance. Don't be afraid to lose a few people along the way. If they can't handle your growth, they were never meant for your greatness. You keep looking around and wondering why your life isn't changing, but you won't disconnect from the distractions. You won't turn off the noise. You won't stop watching everyone else's life long enough to fix your own. That's the problem. Growth doesn't happen in chaos. You want peace, you want power, you want purpose. Then you gotta pull back, shut the world out, get quiet, get focused, get serious. You won't find yourself in the crowd. You find yourself in the quiet. You find yourself when you stop looking for everyone else's opinion and start listening to your own inner voice. Let them say what they want. Let them wonder where you went. Let them think you fell off. Because when you come back locked in, built up, leveled up, they're gonna have to respect what they didn't support. You're not doing this for applause. You're doing this for alignment. You're not isolating because you're weak. You're isolating because you're becoming a weapon. And when the time comes to show the world who you are, They're not going to recognize you, and that's exactly the point. Everybody's out here talking about their next big move. Talking, posting, shouting, boasting. They want the whole world to know they're about to do something. But let me tell you something. Talking ain't doing. You ever seen a lion announce its hunt? No, it just moves. And when it moves, it don't need a press release. The results speak loud enough. See, too many people waste their energy telling instead of becoming. They want applause for the idea before they've even taken the first step. That's not how champions move. You're not in this to impress people with promises. You're in this to build something that shocks them with your progress. That's the game, silent grind, loud results, because here's the truth. The world doesn't believe what you say, it believes what you prove. You ever had people nod in your face and doubt you behind your back? Smile at your plans but whisper to others, they won't make it. That's fine, that's good. Let them doubt, let them giggle, let them gossip. But don't you waste even a second trying to convince them. You ain't got time for that. Time is for building. Time is for sharpening. Time is for climbing. You know what happens when you plant a seed? Nothing. Not for a while. You water it, you nurture it, you care for it, and from the outside, it looks like a whole lot of nothing. People walking by don't see the root system forming underground. They don't see the foundation, and that's your life right now. You're planting, you're preparing, and they don't get it because they only pay attention when something pops out the ground. But by then, it's too late, because when it finally sprouts, they can't stop it. That's the kind of success that speaks, the one they can't ignore, the one you never had to advertise. You gotta protect your vision. Keep it close. Don't hand out blueprints to people who've never built anything in their lives. They'll try to edit your dream before you've even laid a brick. That's why you've got to move in silence. Not because you're afraid, but because you're focused. You ever try cooking something amazing while people are constantly hovering over the pot, asking what you're making, giving advice, criticizing your spices? It ruins the flavor. But when you shut the door, when you turn on your music, and you get in that zone, that dish turns out fire. Your goals are the same way. Shut the door, get in your zone, and cook. People think silence means weakness. No, silence means power. It means control. When you're quiet, they can't pick apart your plans. They can't plant seeds of doubt. They can only watch. And there's nothing more frustrating to a doubter than being forced to watch you win when they thought you would fall. Look around, the loudest ones usually have the least going on, flashing things they rented, talking about things they haven't done, promising things they'll never deliver. But the ones who are really building, they're quiet, they're grinding, they're sacrificing, they're missing the parties, skipping the distractions, putting their head down while everyone else is playing. And when they show up big. You don't need to go online and tell the world you're starting a business. Just start. You don't have to announce your comeback. Just come back. You don't need permission to change your life. You just need the discipline to keep moving forward, even when nobody's clapping for you, especially then. Every minute you spend trying to prove your worth to somebody who doesn't value you is a minute stolen from your purpose. Give yourself that time back. Put that energy where it counts. Build when no one's watching, because when they finally look up, it'll be too late for them to catch up. Let your work humble the ones who counted you out. Let your transformation speak in rooms your voice hasn't even entered yet. The only thing louder than noise is results. And baby, when you focus, when you block out the distractions, when you trust the process and stay consistent, your results will do all the talking for you. And the best part, you won't have to say a word. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody's got a dream, something they want, something they picture in their mind. But let me tell you something real. Dreams don't come true just because you had one. Dreams don't care how bad you want them. Dreams respond to discipline. You can't just talk about it. You gotta be about it. Everybody's walking around saying what they gon' do, how big their vision is, how they're gonna change the game. But very few are willing to wake up when it's still dark outside, get uncomfortable, sacrifice comfort, and grind like they got no backup plan. See, there's a huge difference between being interested in success and being committed to it. If you're just interested, you'll do it when it's convenient. If you're committed, you'll do it even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when no one is clapping, when no one is looking, when no one is saying good job. Because discipline is what separates the ones who almost made it from the ones who actually made it. It ain't about hype. It's about habits. Hype dies fast. Discipline sticks. Discipline means doing the work when the mood is gone. You can be inspired tonight. Get hyped watching some motivational video, post quotes online, talk a good game. But if you don't do the work consistently, that fire's gonna fizzle out. The gym you were so excited to join, empty in 2 weeks. The business plan you printed and told your friends about, sitting in a drawer collecting dust. Why? Because emotion sparked the idea, but discipline was never invited to the table. Emotion fades, discipline delivers. You want results. You better get real familiar with repetition. People don't understand that success isn't some magical thing that shows up one morning like a package from Amazon. It's a slow process. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again. While your friends are out partying, you're studying. While everyone else is sleeping in, you're working out. While they are scrolling on social media, you're building something. You're doing what's not popular now to live how they can't later. That's discipline. You want to shock people. Then stop announcing your every move and start making moves. Stop chasing motivation like it's your fuel. Motivation is the spark. But discipline, that's the engine. That's what keeps you going when you've got nothing left in the tank. It keeps you locked in when the noise around you is loud, when life hits hard, when you get discouraged. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if your feelings are hurt. It says, get up, keep going. And when you show up for yourself daily, when you outwork your past, when you outgrow your old mindset, when you stop explaining and start executing, that's when the world starts paying attention. Not when you say you're going to do it. When you do it, when you build the body, when you start the business, when you master the craft, that's when the silence turns into a roar. People who doubted you start asking how you did it. But by then, it's too late. Because while they were watching, you were working. While they were talking, you were transforming. Discipline turns average people into monsters. It turns people with no resources into people with no limits. Talent is nice, but talent without discipline is just wasted potential. You've seen people with all the talent in the world, but they're lazy. They never reach the top. And you've seen folks with no special gifts, no head start, but they outworked everybody, and they made it. Not because they were the best, but because they were disciplined enough to show up every single day like it mattered, because it does. This is the season where you stop saying maybe and start saying must. Where you stop asking for permission and start taking ownership. Where you stop waiting to feel like it and start doing it because you decided you're not going back. No more excuses, no more talking, no more halfway effort. You say you want it, then prove it, get up. Show up, grow up, grind, rebuild, keep going, because the version of you've been dreaming about is not gonna show up by luck. It's gonna be built. brick by brick, rep by rep, day by day, with something stronger than motivation. It's gonna be built with discipline. Everybody wants to be liked. That's natural. From the moment we come into this world, we're taught to seek approval. Get good grades so the teacher likes you. Wear the right clothes so the crowd accepts you. Say the right things so nobody judges you. But somewhere along the line, that need for approval turns into a full-time job that don't pay a dime. You're out here auditioning for people who ain't even on the casting crew of your life. You're showing up every day trying to fit into molds that were never meant for you, doing backflips in people's lives who wouldn't lift a finger for you. And for what? To get a little pat on the back from folks who wouldn't even show up if you needed them the most. Let me tell you something real. You owe you, not them. Not the people talking about you behind your back. Not the ones scrolling through your page judging your life while theirs is falling apart. You don't owe the doubters. You don't owe the people who walked out. You don't owe the crowd. You owe the person looking back at you in the mirror. You owe the person who had to survive what you went through. You owe the version of you that cried in silence, got up when it didn't feel worth it, smiled when it hurt, and kept pushing forward even when nobody noticed. That's the one you owe. You see, when you spend your life trying to impress everybody else, you forget the one person who matters the most, you. And here's the truth. You could do everything right, say all the right things, show up for everyone, and they'll still find a reason not to clap for you. You could win an Olympic gold medal, and they'll ask why you didn't win too. So stop trying to win a race that ain't even on your track. The game changes the moment you realize the only scoreboard that matters is yours. You want to shock everybody, focus on you, not on proving them wrong, not on clapping back, not on posting for likes or replies. Focus on building, focus on healing, focus on getting stronger. Stop telling them what you're gonna do and just do it. Stop giving speeches and give results. While they talk, you walk. While they doubt, you deliver. You weren't born to blend in. You weren't born to be liked by everybody. You were born to grow. You were born to rise. They laughed at you because you were different. Let 'em laugh. One day, they'll quote the very words they mocked. They'll come back to the table and ask how you did it. And when that moment comes, you won't need to say a word. Your work will speak. Your progress will scream. That glow they didn't recognize will blind them. That strength you built in silence will make more noise than any post, any caption, any comeback ever could. And listen, it's not about arrogance, it's about alignment. When you're focused on you, truly focused, you stop chasing people. You stop trying to fix what broke you. You stop watering dead plants. You start pouring into you. That's when the shift happens. That's when doors start opening you didn't even knock on. That's when favor follows you into rooms you didn't even apply to be in. Why? Because you stopped trying to be everything to everybody and started becoming everything to yourself. People don't respect what's always available. People don't value what's always performing. That's why you've got to pull back sometimes, work in silence, grow in the dark. You don't need their permission to become the person you were created to be. You don't need their validation to level up. The dream is yours, the grind is yours, the discipline is yours, the breakthrough is yours, and guess what? So is the reward. So let 'em watch, let 'em whisper, let 'em doubt. But while they're busy doing all that, make sure you're doing you. Because when the dust settles, when the noise dies down, and when the spotlight hits, the only thing that's going to matter is the work you put in when nobody was watching. You owe it to yourself to become so focused, so driven, so laser, sharp on your own growth that when people look at you, they don't even recognize who you used to be, and that Right there. That's how you shock the world, by finally putting you first.